Next is metropolitan area network. Okay. So first we studied about PAN and LAN. The third one is MAN, metropolitan area network. So first we will see what it is. So MAN stands for metropolitan area network. Then what is the area it covers? If you take a PAN which covers area of 10 meters, and if you take LAN which covers area of within a building, okay, or within offices, and if you take MAN which covers the entire city, okay, it is connection inside the city. So first point, what is MAN means? It's a metropolitan area network. Second one, what does it covers? It covers entire city, which covers the city. It covers entire city. And it is smaller than WAN, wide area network, but larger than LAN, local area network. Okay, it is smaller than WAN, wide area network, and larger than local area network. Okay, so that is the next point. It is MAN. It's smaller than WAN. So when you compare MAN and WAN, okay, when you compare MAN, metropolitan area and wide area network is the largest one. But when you compare it with the MAN is greater. It's smaller than WAN and larger than LAN network. So what we can do with this? What we can do with this MAN, metropolitan area network, we can connect many offices. Okay, say for example, I have a head office in Pungulam and branch offices in different part of this Trivandrum city. I can connect all the branches together with the head office. All the branches together with the head office. So if I want to connect branch offices to the head office, then I have to go for metropolitan area network. Okay, so clear? If I want to connect branch offices to the head office within 100-kilometer range, then I have to go for a MAN. MAN is the best arrangement for connecting branch offices to the head office. Okay, so these are the these are all about what is MAN. What is MAN? Then if you take a characteristics, as I said, the area it covers, it's starting from 5 kilometers to 100 kilometers. It's given 50 kilometers in the text, but it can cover up to 100 kilometers. Okay, it can cover up to 100 kilometers. 5 kilometer to 100 kilometer. Then who won this metropolitan network? Okay, it's not like in a school, only within a school LAN computers are connected together. So it is an organization, it's holding the connection. But MAN, who won this connection? It's a user group. It's a large user group or network provider. Say for example, you can take the internet provider who has a net connection, and from their place they are serving the connection to all the residents. So within 100-kilometer range, they can just serve the connection. So who all can have this metropolitan area network? It's a large user group and network providers. Okay, and it provides a link between LANs and WANs, like an intermediator. To connect the MAN and WANs, it acts as a LAN and WAN, it acts as a link, it provides the links. Okay, so the second point, who won this user group or any network provider. Instead of like a LAN, it's an organization, it's holding the network, but here MAN, it's a user group or network provider. Okay, the next point. It provides links. It provides links to connect LAN to WAN. LAN to WAN. So these are all the characteristics of WAN. These are all characteristics of MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. Clear? So it's a metropolitan area network which covers area from 5 kilometers to 100 kilometers. Example, a head office which has a branches in the same city. The branches are in different part of the city. So in this case, we have to go for a metropolitan area network. Clear? So let me show you an example, draw an example, then you will understand very clearly. Let me draw an example, then you will understand clearly. So as I said, MAN is connecting multiple lands, right? So we can consider that our SFS school. We are in higher secondary school, we do have a primary section, maybe within 2 or 3 kilometers range, right? So maybe it may be 2 kilometers or 10, 15 kilometers or 50 kilometers. We can connect it together because we are same school, right? We can connect it together. So assume that it is SFS school. Okay, this is SFS higher secondary school. It is SFS higher secondary school which has group of computers. So these are group of computers using bus technology. They are connected. Okay. So can you tell me within the building? This is a school. So within the building, I connected computer. In what method I have connected the computer? Any idea? Yes, I connected with the help of local area network because it is within the building, within the SFS school. Okay. So I connected to LAN, and these devices are connected to the bridge. These devices are connected to a bridge. Okay, and I have, this is one school. All right. Then SFS has a primary school, right? From KG to 4th standard, we have another school. So this is primary. This is primary school, and there also they have a set of computers which are connected to one another. They are connected to one another. Again, can you tell me what type of setup it is? Yes, it is local area network. So that is within that particular school building it happens. So it is another LAN. So when we connect computers with the LAN, we need a bridge. Okay. So the bridge is here. Your bridge is here. So this is another office. So how does these two LAN are connected together? How does these two LANs are connected together? These two LANs are connected together with the help of MAN. With the help of MAN. So they are using one MAN, that's a local exchange carrier. So this bridge is connected and this bridge is connected here. So this is the setup of MAN. So this is one private LAN and here is another private LAN. These both are connected to the MAN. So the bridges are connected to the MAN. This is a local exchange carrier which is transmitting data from one school to another school. Local exchange carrier. This is called local exchange carrier. Okay, fine. So this is the best example for MAN. So as I said, MAN which covers entire city. So one particular school is here and its branch is somewhere else in another within 100 kilometer, and the computers in both the schools are connected with the help of MAN. So this is the best example for MAN. Clear? Next we will see what are its advantages. So if you see the advantages, the very first one, it is less expensive. It is less expensive to connect the MAN to WAN. It is less expensive to connect MAN to WAN. And also the data are efficiently managed here. The data are efficiently managed. From the head office, it passes the information to all the branch offices, right? So the data is managed very efficiently, and data is centralized. Everything is centralized. Okay? That is the very first advantage of a MAN network, metropolitan area network. So it is less expensive and data efficiently managed. Data are efficiently managed. And the next advantage is we can send emails. Okay, we can send emails in a very fast manner, as well as with a free of cost. Because from the main office we can send mails to branch offices in a high speed as well as with a free of cost. That is the second advantage. So sending emails. Sending emails with free of cost is another advantage. Then third one, high speed. So high speed in the sense the internet connection. Okay. So we are using a fiber optic cable. We are using fiber optic cable here. For connection, we are using fiber optic cable. So the speed is really has a great quality. It has a greater transfer rate, data transfer rate. Okay. Even it transfers data for 1000 megabits per second. It transfers data in a speed of 1000 megabits per second. So we have a high speed of data transfer. High speed of data transfer such as 1000 megabits per second. It transfers data in a rate of 1000 megabits per second. 1000 megabits, megabits per second, which transfers data in a rate of at the rate of 1000 megabits per second. That is another greatest advantage of this metropolitan area network. Then we can share the internet also with other users. When we set up this MAN, we can share the internet connection with the other users. So everyone can get a high speed internet. Everyone can get a high speed internet. Everyone will get high speed internet. It's the next one. Then the last one is security. So if you see MAN, which has its own level of security. As I said, LAN has its own level of securities. MAN is also has its own level of security. So these are the advantages of a LAN network. Let me repeat it again. So LAN, which is less expensive, that means connecting from MAN to WAN, it's less expensive, and all the data are managed very efficiently. Then the sending emails, we can send emails with a free of cost. Okay. Then data transfer rate is too high because we are using fiber optic cables. So the data transfer rate is high. Okay. Then next one is high speed internet. We can share the internet. We can share the resources. Okay. High speed internet with the other users. So everyone will get a same quality of high speed internet. Then the last one, security. MAN has its own level of security. So these are the advantages of metropolitan area network. The next one, disadvantages. So if you take a disadvantage, just imagine that we are connecting computers from one part of the city to another part of the city, right? So we will be using hardware devices to connect in between. Even within a building, we need a bridge. I mean a switch or a router. And another building also, they would be having bridge or router, bridge like a switch or hub or router. And these two routers are again connected with a MAN, another local exchange carriers. So the hardware devices are becomes too high, right? So the managing hardware parts is not that much easy. Managing hardware parts are not that much easy. And if you are not managing properly, that will increase the possibility of security threats in exchanging the data. Okay? If you are not managing the hardware properly, that will lead to or that will increase the possibility of security threats while sending the data. So it is the very first disadvantage. It's difficult to manage is the first disadvantage. Okay. So when I say difficult to manage, it increases the security threats. So what would be the second disadvantage? Yes, hacking, ethical hacking. So if the devices are not managed, the hardware devices are not managed properly, there are chances the vulnerable hacking may happen. the hackers may hack the data what we are sending. So that is the another disadvantage of this manned network. Right? Vulnerable to hackers. Vulnerable to hackers. Okay, so these 2 points are correlated to one another. Then the third point is we need extra cable. I mean wires we need. Why is it so? Are we connecting only within the building? No, right? We are connecting from one branch office to another branch office, and from there to another branch, and then head office. So the distance increases. When the distance increases, the cable also we need a lot. And what type of cable here we are using? We are using fiber optic cable. We are using fiber optic cable. So the cost of fiber optic cable is also too high. So wires, we need a lot of wires, which lead to expensive, which leads to more cost. Cost is high. Okay. So the third point I'm going to say, we need more wires. Okay, we need more wires. So what type of wires we are using? Fiber optic. So next point is cost, high cost. Why it is high cost? Because we are not using the normal telephone copper wire. Okay, that is not that much costly comparing to fiber optic. We are using fiber optic cable for a good transmission. When we use the fiber optic, we will get a great transmission, data transmission. Okay, so when we use the fiber optic cable, the cost is going to be high. So that's the reason I say it's high cost. It is another disadvantage. So last 2 points are related to one another. We need a lengthy cable to connect from one office to another office, and the type of cable we are using is a fiber optic. So when we use a fiber optic cable, which is an expensive one, it's not like a telephone copper wires. So this fiber optic cable costs a lot. So it is high. It costs high cost. Clear for everyone? So these are the disadvantages of metropolitan area network. Okay. Shall we repeat what we studied? We studied about metropolitan area network, what it is, what are its characteristics, and I have drawn one example of metropolitan area network, then advantages and disadvantages. Okay. If it's a MAN, always keep it in mind that many LANs are connected together. When we connect many LANs together, that becomes MAN, metropolitan area network. Let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is wide area network. Okay. Yes, next is a wide area network. Okay. The name itself suggests it's a wide area. So what it covers? It covers large geographical area. So did you understand the difference between all the four networks? The PAN covers 10 meters. Okay, devices within 10 meters. Then LAN within a building. Then MAN within a city, and this WAN, it's a large geographical area, different part of the world, anywhere. Okay, the distance is more than 100 kilometer. Anything more than 100 kilometer, then we can opt for this wide area network. Okay, so what it is? First, you have to say what it is. It is a wide area network. It's a wide area network. Then what is the second point? Okay, how we can connect it, what we can connect it with the help of WAN. We can connect many smaller networks together. We can connect many smaller networks together. Okay, maybe we can connect the networks which is in Kerala. Maybe some computers which are in Trivandrum, some branches which are in Cochin, some computers or branches which are in Kasaragod. We can connect all these three places, computers together with the help of MAN. So smaller networks we can connect, and we can connect multiple LANs and multiple MANs together. Okay, we can connect smaller networks, then multiple LANs and MANs. So that is the next point. Okay, can connect smaller networks, multiple LAN and WANs. We can connect it together. Okay. So, what is the benefit of it? What is the benefit of connecting from one place to another place? So, user and computer in one place can access the user and computer in another location. From one location to another location, we can access the user and computer. In the sense, data we can access. Say, for example, we have a branch in US and we have a branch in Trivandrum. So, I want to have access data from US office. For this reason, do I need to travel to US? No, right? So it's very cost effective. So in this case, what we can do is we can exchange the data with the help of WAN. If you have a WAN connection, so we can exchange the data from here to US or from US to here. Okay, so from the user and computer in one location can communicate with user and computer in another location. Okay, that is another point for what is WAN. Okay, user and computer in one location can communicate with user and computer in another location. That means we can exchange the data. We can exchange the data, share our informations. Okay. Then how does the communication happens? Okay. Who is helping us to communicate? There are two things. One is it can be a private network or it can be a public transmission system. It can be a private network or public transmission network. So communication is via either private network or public transmission system. Okay, and the best examples you can see the internet connection and you can see the 4G broadband connections. Okay, so these are the examples of WAN. So now let's see again what is WAN. It's a wide area network. We can connect many smaller networks together. We can connect many LANs and many WANs together. Okay, then the next one, users and computers in one location can communicate with users and computers in another location. And how does the communication happens? Either using a private network or public transmission system. And the examples, internet and yes, 4G broadband connections are examples of this wide area network. Okay. Then what are its characteristics? So from this, what is mean by WAN? You can just frame its characteristics, which connects multiple LANs together, which connects multiple computers together and users together, which covers large geographical area. These all comes under its characteristics. Okay. And I would like to tell you just one example, one draw of example for this WAN. Okay. As I said, WAN connects multiple LANs, multiple MANs and smaller networks together. Just you can see the example here. Okay. So the example is, say for example, here there is a LAN. Okay, here there is a LAN. It's a LAN. Okay. So it is in one part of the world. So when it is a LAN, definitely it has a bridge. I mean a router or a switch. Okay. Yeah, it's a router I have. Router is connected to this LAN network. And in another part of the world, another LAN is there. Okay. This is another LAN. And this is also connected to another router. Alright, and here I have a MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. Okay, metro means which connects multiple LANs, right? So here one LAN is here and another LAN is here, another LAN is here. It has a multiple LANs, okay? And here another MAN, Metropolitan Area Network, and which is again connected with many LANs. So this is one network and this is another one. Now, how to connect all these offices together? Okay, this is one city, this is another city. Metropolitan networks are there and multiple LANs are there connected with the help of MAN. And here this is another LAN connection and here is another LAN connection in one particular office. This is one office and this is another office. How to connect everything through the WAN? So we need a WAN here. It's a wide area network. So here all are connected together. So this is a way the WAN is connected. Okay, multiple MANs and multiple LANs, the branch offices and everything connected all over the world. This is the way the connection happens in WAN. Is it clear for everyone? Good. Now we see advantages of wide area network. So the very first advantage, as it covers large geographical area, that's going to be the first advantage. Okay, so covering large geographical area, coverage of large geographical area, it's a very first advantage. That means if you have office in US and branches are in India, then you can go for wide area network. Okay, so anything above more than 1,000 kilometers or above 100 kilometers, you can opt for this wide area network. So it is better for large geographical area. That is the very first advantage. Covers large geographical area. It covers large geographical area. The second thing is centralized data. Centralized data. As I said, if you have many branches, so do we need to have all the data in all the branch offices? Okay, do we need to have a server and all the data software is loaded in all the offices? Exactly no. We can have all the files, data and servers reside on a head office, server, and from there we can access all the files, data, softwares, everything from the head office. So that is the reason we call it as centralized data, okay, which help us to take a backup or share the data and files, and also which provides synchronized access of data. Okay, so centralized data is the next advantage. Then the third one is updated files and data. Updated files and data. That means some software companies have a live server. And if there is any update, they will do it immediately, and whoever is working on this software coding or the office tabs can immediately access the changes. The live updates, they can get it. So updated files and data is the next advantage. Next one, high-speed internet connection. High-speed internet connection. Instead of a normal broadband connection, you can opt for a leased lines. Then you will have a good high-speed internet. So when you have a high-speed internet, the communication between the mediums, it's going to be in a higher rate. So automatically the productivity of the company will increase. So high-speed internet, it's another advantage. So high-speed internet. The next one, it's a common one, sharing softwares and resources. Okay, So the softwares we can share it from head office to other branch offices, and even sometimes we can share the hard drives and even RAM we can share from one user to another user. That is another advantage. Okay, sharing of software and resources or is another advantage. So the next one is distributed workload. So what is meant by distributed workload? So we can have a main office in US and branch offices in another place. Okay. So all the work cannot be take place in the main office. In this case, they can set up a branch office in another country, and they can divide their workload to the branch office, and they can monitor the work what we are doing. They can communicate us through the through WAN. They can communicate with the branch offices through WAN. So what happens because of this? The workload becomes less and the productivity becomes higher. Automatically the profit happens for the company. So distributed workload, it's another, and workload is another advantage. Distributed workload. So when we distribute the works, the time we are going to save and the money also we are going to save. Okay, no need to travel to the another place and see what they are doing. So we can communicate through WAN itself. So these are the advantages of a WAN network. Okay, so let me repeat it one more time. What are the advantages of WAN? Which covers relatively a large geographical area than other networks, then which has a centralized data. All the data can reside on a head office server, and from there all the branch offices can access the data. Okay, then which gives a synchronized data access. Then third one, updated files and data. Some servers in software companies, they have a live servers, and whatever updates, live updates are there, they will update it immediately, and whoever working on the offices can get it immediately. Then high speed internet, we can just share a high speed internet which leads to high productivity. Then sharing of softwares and resources, also another advantage. Then distributed workloads. These are all advantages of wide area network. Okay. Then next we see about disadvantages of a wide area. The first disadvantage is it's very difficult to manage, as we said in WAN. Okay, if you take a WAN, it's not placed in one particular place, which covers a large geographical area, right? So it's not easy to set up. There are so many technologies are used to set up this WAN, okay? And if they are not managed properly, that will increase the possibility of security threats. That will increase the possibility of security threat while exchanging the transferring the data. Okay, so security problem is there. Managing the network, it's really difficult. Okay, managing in the sense it's not a small network, it's a huge network. Okay, so a lot of technologies are used in WAN. And if it is not properly managed, it will lead to increase. It will increase the possibility in security threats while exchanging the data or transferring the data. So security is the first disadvantage. Okay, security problem, security issues. Then, how to avoid the security issues? When there is a problem, we have to rectify it, right? So, to avoid these security issues, we need firewalls and antivirus softwares. Firewall in the sense not just to turn on the firewall in your computer, as you do it in a private network. Okay, it's a firewall means there are different devices to protect our network from the security threats, hacking. So we need firewalls and antivirus softwares we have to buy and load it. So that is another problem. Okay, we need firewalls and antivirus software. Okay, these 2 points are related to one another. Then the third point is high setup cost. we need a high setup cost, because it's not going to happen in one single room or in one single building which connects multiple places. Computers are connected in different places. So the cost of connecting it's going to be very high. We need multiple routers, switches, then security devices, so many devices, hardware devices we need, which is not that much easy to buy. They are very costlier. So high cost is another disadvantage. High cost is another disadvantage. Then troubleshooting problems. So what is meant by troubleshooting? Trouble in the sense any problem. If any problem occurs in one particular office, we have to identify where does the problem starts, because the computers are connected in different part of the world. Okay, this branch is connected to the another branch in another city or in another country, or all over the world, right? So we have to identify where does the problem starts, where it's in which place the problem started. We have to identify it. So the troubleshooting, it's not that much easy, and most of the times the wires lay under the sea. Wires lay under the sea. So troubleshooting cables under the sea, it's not that much easy, which need lot of resources to identify and rectify the issues. So troubleshooting, it's another drawback for wide area network. So these are the disadvantages of a wide area network. Okay, first one, it's a security issues. So if you are not setting up the devices properly, that may lead or increase the possibility of security alerts, threats. Okay, security threats in data transfer. So anybody can hack the data what we are sending. They can alter it. Okay, they can change the data what we are sending. Then to avoid it, we need a firewalls and antivirus softwares. Okay, they are very costly. Then high cost. Setting up WAN, it's high cost because we need lot of devices. Not if it is inside the building, then we need only one router. But if it is in different places, we need multiple devices like switches, hubs, routers, and security devices we need. So the cost is higher than other networks. Then troubleshooting. If any problem occurs in any network, we have to identify the root cause of the problem. And sometimes the cables goes under the sea, so it's very difficult to find out the problem and rectifying it. So these are the disadvantages of WAN network. So clear for everyone? So totally we covered 4 networks. So I hope you all understood what we studied today. Together we studied 4 types of networks like PAN, LAN, MAN and WAN. And we studied what it is, what are their characteristics and advantages and disadvantages of a particular network. And your task is, you have to prepare a table like this. For PAN and LAN, one table, okay, and for a MAN and WAN, another table. If possible, you can just make a one single table extending MAN and WAN, okay. So, and what you have to do is, you have to write what it is for each and every one. So, the very first point for PAN, it is what it is. It is a personal area network. And for LAN, you have to write at the same time. It's a local area network. It's a local area network. Okay. And whatever points we studied for what it is, you have to list out one by one here under what it is. And characteristics. Maybe 4 or 5 points we studied for each and every network as a characteristics. That also you have to list out one by one here and here. So for PAN, what is the first point? Less coverage area. Okay, which is first one, it's a less coverage area. And for LAN, within a building or within a school, we can connect computers. So what is its first characteristics? We can connect computers within a building. building or offices or within a school. That is the first point. And what is the second characteristics we studied? The area which covers. What does the area the PAN network covers? The devices we can connect it in 10 meters. Within 10 meters we can cover. Okay. The area it covers is 10 meters. Here within a building. Okay. The building within a building we can, within a room or within a building or within a school we can connect it. That you have to write it here. Then what about cost? It's a low cost, and here also less expensive. Likewise, you have to list out the points just direct to one another. Okay. Then advantages. What are the advantages we studied for PAN and what are the advantages we studied for LAN? You have to list out one by one. Similarly, disadvantages also. You have to prepare this not only for PAN and LAN, you have to do it for MAN as well as WAN also. When you do this, you will be able to compare one network with another network and it will be easy for you to remember the points. Got it? So I hope you understood everything what I said so far, and do not forget to write these two tables in your computer notebook. If it's not possible to write it in a computer notebook, you can write it in a A4 size paper and paste it in your computer notebook. Before the next class, you should complete it. And when the school reopens, I will be correcting this and I will be taking it as one of the assignments. And I'll mark it. I hope everyone will do it. Fine. So that is for today's class. And we will be meeting in the next class with the last portion of this chapter. And I ask everyone to study. Please study at least before the class. Okay, 1 or 2 days before the class. Read and read. When you read many times, you will be able to grasp the points what I said. Okay, and I will conduct a test paper also. I will inform you when it will be. Study well, and I'm going to recollect what we studied, revise what we studied so far, and at the end of this video, I'm attaching some questions. So please do answer these questions and keep it with yourself in your computer notebook. I'll send you the answers tomorrow. You can verify your answers with mine. All right? Okay. Thank you, students. Have a great day. Students, let's see what you know now. Okay. So you know about the computer networks. They are classified based on its size, capabilities, and geographical areas. And the types of networks are PAN, LAN, MAN, and WAN. And you also know the coverage areas of each networks. Example, the PAN covers areas of 10 meters, LAN covers within a building, MAN covers 5 kilometers to 100 kilometers, and WAN anything more than 100 kilometers or 1000 kilometers. And you know about topology. What is meant by topology? It's the arrangements of computers in a network. It's called topology, and there are many types of topologies available. The topologies you should know is bus topology, ring topology, star topology, mesh topology, and hybrid topology. Then you also know the characteristics, advantage and disadvantages of each network. Okay, students, now I have given questions. Please answer the questions in your computer notebook. Tomorrow I will be posting the answers. Verify your answers with mine. Enjoy your days and study your textbook. Thank you, students. Have a great day.